I've always been a bit different, not in a weird way or anything, just a bit creative, I guess. And I'd had this idea for Lettuce for quite a while. And I'd met Joe through Paige back when we were speaking. And maybe the second or third time I met Joe, I mentioned to him this idea of Lettuce, and he seemed to really like it. You know, and the next thing, you know, the whole group was talking about it, and everyone seemed to be on board and seemed to really like this idea. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Ask a lot of people now about lettuce, and most people will think you're talking about a salad. But for me, and lots of other people living in London in the 2010s, lettuce was more than just a garnish. It was our only means of escape from the drab reality of a post-riot London with a newly elected Conservative government. Since the split, the Lettuce members have been notoriously quiet about what went on, but with the help of social media, fans, friends and family, I've managed to get some of the founding members to help me on my quest to unearth the truth about lettuce.
There was me, Pat, Joe.
Oh, we just had the best time ever.
Trousers and pants by his ankles.
You know, it was just a magical time.
And two German ladies of the night, should we put it, and
off an original Queen Platinum record, off his guitar case,
and I really want to remember what happened.
off a hooker's tits, sometimes straight out of the bag.
But I just can't. And I think that was the beauty of Lettuce, you know, if you remembered it, you weren't there.
Oh God, backstage at the concert in
but that's one that always comes to mind.
Right in front of and she was just watching.
A group of mates, you know, let loose. You know, these are times that I'll never ever forget. You know, absolutely.
So lettuce is essentially an idea I had in the 90s. It's one of those things that I kind of forgot about, but the back of my head, my brain was still ticking. And by the end of the 2000s, the technology seemed available, and I don't know, the conditions seemed right. The Tories had come into power, there'd been a few riots and stuff, and I thought it was worth revisiting that idea. And I remember mentioning it to Bobby, who I was still talking to at the time, which people find hard to believe. We were actually very close back then. But I mentioned it to him and Joe, and I remember them both saying, Paige, that's crazy. And I said, no. I know it's crazy, but I think it's going to be amazing.
You know, people wanted change. People needed change. For the first time in 13 or 14 years, you know, we were under a Conservative government. We didn't know what that was like. You know, it brought about so much frustration to the public. You know, the riots were happening, things were changing, and not for the good. We needed a bit of positivity back in the young people and back in people in general. And if we were to play a part of that, then so be it.
No. It's one of those digital ones. It's rubbish. I got it from a shopping centre. Yeah, you got to plug it in and everything. It's not bad actually.
There were many theories on the internet and so on about the London riots being cut short because of lettuce. Is there any truth in that at all? Well, people say that to me quite a lot. You know, they say that the beginning of lettuce was the end of the London riots and the beginning of, you know, summer 2011 as it's now known. I mean, that's not really for me to say. All I know is that London needed change and London needed something to feel good about.
Oh, I don't really want to comment on that. I mean, lettuce was never a political thing. It was never meant to be a political thing.
Absolutely, it was a political thing. I think everything that's creative stems from some form of frustration, which usually stems from politics. And maybe at the time we didn't know, maybe it was unintentional, but 100% it was a political thing. 100%, definitely.
Everyone seems to think that everything creative has to stem from politics and blah, 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 blah. sometimes things aren't driven by politics. Sometimes things are driven by other things.
You know, there's a spiritual side to people that they don't even know they have. And, you know, and that's normally brought about through frustration and through anger. And a lot of people take out that anger and use it negatively. But I think if you can find within your inner self to make that positive and create something, then it's beautiful. And that's what Letters was. That's all it was.
It was a very methodical, sort of almost scientific approach. I think everyone was on the same page there. We had a process, we had a system.
Look, at the end of the day, all it was 6 minds, you know, 6 imaginations just getting thrown up into the air, and whatever got caught, you know, that's what Letters became.
To understand how Letters became what it became, we need to go back to where it all began. Way back in 2011, when it had 6 members and only 14 interactions per day. Compare that to 2012, where it would have 2,000 per day. Letters was becoming known for having one of the widest varieties of music. However, with its popularity on the rise, it would see its headcount decrement by 1. Fast forward to the following year, and Letters' followers were on the rise, and 2014 showed no signs of slowing down. By the time Letters reached its hiatus in May 2015, it had garnered so much interest that, to put it into perspective, had Letters been a mountain, it would have been 1.5 times the size of Everest. But the higher the rise, the harder the fall.
Oh, but you know, you have to take what you read about us with a pinch of salt, because, you know, I used to just Google us sometimes to see what crazy things someone had come up with this time. You know, at one stage, apparently I was, what was it? Apparently, oh, that's it, I've released a DVD in Kyrgyzstan for an exercise at home kind of thing. So, yeah, pinch. I mean, and needless to say, that doesn't exist. So yeah, definitely pinch of salt is needed.
Ze, shin, fig, dag, en doch, en doch, en doch, en doch. En zonnig hebben, echt, lachen neon. En zullen we, schom, schom, gom, schom, gom, schom, gom, schom, gom, 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 boom. Het gunnen we ja. Gaan of nog een. Gaan we twee. Doch naar maar doch naar schnoeien. Vloggen en de vloggen en de snop en de vloggen. En de wagen dosje nog. Wagen nog bij jou. Wagen nog je.
Pinch of salt.
So it was me and Frisbee, we were out all night, just us two, we were out drinking, having a great time, and then we managed to get hold of a bit of Moondust. And he said, do you want to go back to mine? I was like, yeah, let's go back to his. So we went back to his, and of course this is before I realised that, you know, that he had a problem.
I think he definitely had a problem. Yeah, I think he definitely had a problem. I mean, I've been there when he was on the Moondust by himself. No one else in the room would be doing Moondust with him. And there was 2 people in that room.
That might have been where it started.
I don't think Paul was a problem initially. I think he became a problem. I think the fame went straight to his head. I think out of everyone, he was the most visibly fame gone to the head person, you know? Everywhere you'd look, there'd be a video of him hanging out with some celeb, doing whatever. I don't know. I don't want to know. And at the meetings, roll call, Podrick present, Joe present, Paigey present, Bobby present, Paul.
Yeah, of course he missed Frisbee, because he was one of us. He was one of the group. We didn't just miss
didn't just miss a member of the group or a member of a meeting. We missed a mate. And
what do you think Joe and Podrick are getting up to now?
look, I do my best to try and keep up with Joe and Pat. You know, they're doing their best to try and get over Lettuce, as we all are, because Lettuce was something that was bigger than all of us. It was bigger than all of us, so.
Where do you see yourselves in 10 years' time?
Well, as a group?
As anything, what do you see yourself doing in 10 years' time?
If we could get together again, maybe have a a one-off reunion.
Oh, police. Do you know? I can't put my finger. I think it was a number of things. I don't think we could really predict what was going to happen, but I don't think there was one individual thing that started the fall.
Do you think maybe it was 1 week by Portugal Shukri?
So no, sorry, nope. You can't get me like that. I'm not talking about that. We said we weren't going to talk about that. And as I said before, if you try to bring it up, that's the end of the documentary, as far as I'm concerned. So I won't read this anymore, but good luck with everything. Sorry.